Monica. So my name is Timothée Noel. I'm working in DG Energy of the European Commission. First, as it was mentioned by Monica Frassoni, I think I would like to insist on the importance of the policy framework, which is currently being discussed together with the Council and the Parliament. The Clean Energy for All Europeans package includes a revision of the EPBD directive and of the ED directive, and we have to make sure that these framework give the right incentive and the right signal to investors. That's absolutely key. Then on the project, we very much support that project. This was already expressed by our Vice President Katainen at the last meeting organized earlier this year in Brussels. We support that project because we believe it's potentially a game changer. It's potentially a game changer because it focuses on a key challenge, which is to unlock and accelerate private financing for investment in energy efficiency in our building stock. This is absolutely key if we want to benefit from all the benefits that were explained earlier in that conference and achieve our objectives. And in order to do that, we need to offer to all citizens and businesses willing to renovate their building a financial solution that can be attractive and affordable for them. And to make this happen, we need to work with the private sector, financial institution. We need to work with banks. We need to work with investors to help them understand what are the real opportunities and benefits for them in that market. We also need to work with them. We need to work together to better understand the risk behind energy efficiency investment, because like in any investment, you've got benefits and you've got risk. And that's why the work of EFIG is extremely important. As it was mentioned earlier, we're going to launch on the 22nd of June a specific appraisal underwriting guide to help financial institutions going through that process. And I know that the G20 also was there to toolkit did a lot on that. I also would like to say that we believe that this is potentially a game changer because the volume is just big. I mean, you said earlier this afternoon that the market represents 850 billion euro a year. Just compare that to what we have at the European level in terms of EU money to support energy efficiency in buildings, which is 13 billion euro over 2014-2020, over 7 years. And this is huge. It's three times more than what we used to have in the previous period. But this shows clearly that the big money is not with the public sector, with the public authorities. It's clearly with banks, it's clearly with investors. And that's why we need to use public funding in the most effective way possible. And that's why we're working as part of the Smart Finance for Smart Buildings initiative together with the EIB group to find the best model to use, for instance, EU funds. I also would like to say that this is an important project for us because mortgages are an interesting product in the sense that they can provide financing at the moment in the lifetime of a product where you can actually initiate a renovation project. And we know that the lack of access to capital is one barrier, but somehow the lack of motivation is another barrier. And if you want to have a project, you need to have financing, but you also need to have the motivation for doing some works. And with the mortgage solution, you could, in fact, attract more demand. And finally, we like in that project the fact that it's very bottom-up. It includes real banks, it includes real energy efficiency experts and companies, it includes real valuers. So we see that as an opportunity basically to go from theory to reality. It's an opportunity, like Nick Robin said, for banks to really start collecting data about the loan performance data of existing portfolio. And there are some previous portfolios that currently exist on energy efficiency. We need to move on that specific challenge. It's an opportunity for the valuers to really take on board all the good practices that exist and really try to find out how they can change their way of evaluating buildings. And it's an opportunity for energy efficiency companies to define new services that correspond to market needs and consumer needs.